and we tell the child this, and we tell them, as he says here, persistently, it means that they're told this. This becomes part of the language that we utilize with the child, and by the way, whatever age. So my kid is 16 years old and I've never said it to them. What should I do? Start saying it to them. Start saying it to them. Not sit down, I have to have a talk with you. The birds and the bees. No, it's not about sitting down. This has to become something that they hear. They hear from us. And it's amazing. Listen, as adults, it's important for us to hear this. When we go through difficulty, when we struggle with what we're doing in life and where we are and what's happening with us, and we go through some kind of life change and all of this, and we get depressed and down and struggle with ourselves, we need to hear this. Kids definitely need to hear it. They're going through adolescence, and they're going through puberty, and they're going through childhood, and they're going through school, and they're going through bullying, and they're going through all of these things. There is nothing more profound that we can tell them. That they have a neshama, and that God placed it in them, and that God has a purpose for them in this world. And that has nothing to do with how smart you are, how pretty you are, because obviously God thinks you're smart, and you're pretty, and you're capable, and all of these things. And the proof is in the fact that He continues to give you life. You have value. That message is one that is worth its weight in gold. That is the foundation of a healthy sense of self. Not based on anything, and then we can build on it all of the competencies that we spoke about. But you don't have to be Orthodox for it. You don't have to be religious for it. It doesn't hurt to tell them about Torah and mitzvahs. Absolutely. It surely doesn't hurt, and it helps. Because the child does say, well, wait a second, what does God want of me? Okay, so as parents, we need to be courageous and do what we need to do for the child. Even if it means doing a little more Torah and mitzvahs. Even if it means that. But, regardless of that, to tell the child this message is absolutely profound for them. Not only for today, not only when they're little, not only when they're teenagers, not only when they're in college, but later on in life as well. Exercise for the week, page 117. Spend some time reviewing your children's strengths, as identified earlier in the learning exercise 4, and brainstorm different activities and responsibilities that will call upon and highlight these strengths. And finally, the key points. We have a reader on page 118. Go ahead, Patty. Number 1.
We need to see to it that our children are emotionally stable and happy, and self-esteem is a big part of that. 2. Self-esteem is essential for psychological survival. Low self-esteem negatively impacts a person in many ways, including inhibiting his or her spiritual growth. 3. A particularly detrimental consequence of low self-esteem is that it puts a child at higher risk for engaging in bully behavior or for being a target of bully behavior. Building our children's self-esteem helps prevent their becoming bullies or being bullied. Self-esteem is comprised of 2 primary elements, a feeling of personal competence and a feeling of intrinsic worth. We want our children to love and value themselves for what they can do and for who they are. 5. The most effective way to build children's self-esteem is to treat them as worthy and competent beings. We do so by entrusting them with positions of responsibility. 6. Our children feel competent when they see success in their endeavors. It is important to tailor our parenting to the uniqueness of each child and to guide each child to activities that call upon his or her signature strengths. 7. We nurture our children's feeling of intrinsic worth by loving them unconditionally and not differentiating in our love between one child and the next. This intrinsic worth is grounded in the understanding that every child is defined by the infinite value of his or her divine soul.
Have a good night.